Yo, what's up guys, it's the Beast here back with another video. And today, we're starting to do our reacts. As you know, 2024, we're becoming a reaction YouTuber. And we're still playing EAFC, alright? We're still gonna play EAFC. But yeah, let's react to this video. Strangest ways people have died.
Death. We're fascinated by it. You're fascinated by it. Why kid ourselves here? We gave you a whole bunch of strange deaths, and you clearly wanted more, so here you are. Even stranger and freakier deaths that you're guaranteed to never forget. As much as it might seem morbid to admit it, sometimes death can be pretty funny. Just make sure it isn't too funny, or you might be joining the deceased by laughing yourself to death. That's right, laughing yourself to death is a thing that can happen in some rare circumstances. And a few of the circumstances we were able to track down had some incredibly strange things in common. Take, for example, the alleged death of Chrysippus of Soli, an ancient Greek Stoic philosopher who died in 206 BC. According to one account of the
Blood died in 206 BC, bruh. 206 BC, how do they even track his death? Like what? Huh?
famed thinker's demise, he met his end by laughing himself to death after seeing a donkey eating figs. He remarked to a nearby slave that someone should fetch the donkey wine to wash the figs down, and was apparently so amused by his own joke at the fig-eating donkey's expense, he literally died as a result. Who would have thought a donkey eating figs was so funny? Apparently, the Spanish king Martin the Humane also succumbed to a comical fate in 1410. While he might have been called Martin the Humane, he could have also been called Martin the Hungry because his death story starts with him eating an entire cooked goose and getting severe indigestion. It reminds us of our uncles at Thanksgiving. Given that modern antacid hadn't been invented yet, the royal court decided that laughter was the best medicine, so rather than a medic, they sent the king's favorite jester, Borra, to his bedroom to cheer him up.
Bro, instead of sending a doctor, bro, they sent a comedian. What is the comedian gonna do? He literally laughed him to death. Alright? No, that's their fault. I don't know what's going down in the UK. Happy, what is it called? What's it called? Shit. The Boxing Day. Boxing Day to the Brits. But yeah, what's going on in your country? I mean, yeah, what's going on in your nation back in the day, man? Because I have to say back in the day, but most Brits weren't, all the Brits probably weren't even born when this happened, so.
This would be the worst mistake of the King Martin's life. He asked Borra where he'd been, expecting one of the jester's classic witty retorts, and Borra allegedly replied, "Out of the next vineyard, where I saw a young deer hanging by his tail from a tree, as if someone had so punished him for stealing figs." And so the magic combination was unleashed, beasts and figs. The king laughed so hard he died right there, in his bedroom. Martin the Humane's goose was well and truly cooked. In defense of the world's fig-hungry mammals, there have been plenty of other reasons people have died from laughter throughout history. Another example from the ancient world was the Greek painter Zeuxis, famous for his brilliant still life works and also for his weird death. He was commissioned to paint a portrait of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, by an old woman, who also insisted on modeling for the painting. This caused Zeuxis to laugh himself to death, presumably also
Bro, do you know how ugly you have to be for someone to laugh to death about you being a model? No. Do you know how cooked you have to be for that to happen? Cooked like extreme, like I'm talking, what's it called? Nikocado cooked. No, because that's just disrespectful, or chopped. You're either chopped or he's just disrespecting you. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with your chopped. Yeah.
murdering the poor old woman's self-esteem. There are two stories about the 1556 death of Pietro Arentino, and both involve him dying from laughter. This Italian author, painter, and all-around weirdo was told a dirty joke at a party, and depending on who's telling the story, either laughed so hard he died or fell off his chair from laughing so hard and fractured his skull. The Scottish aristocrat Thomas Urquhart was also believed to have died laughing in 1660 when he heard Charles II had taken the throne, and over 300 years.
So bro got mad. No, bro laughed as someone got the throne. Then he died. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You deserve to get put in a pack.
Later, a British man named Alex Mitchell would suffer the same fate after laughing for 25 continuous minutes at a sitcom episode, leading him to experiencing heart failure. The moral of all this?
It's not that funny. That sitcom was not that funny, bruh. Now you'll never watch another sitcom. What was the 25 minutes of laughter that funny? You're not. Oh my god. Disappointing.
Enjoy every laugh, cause it might be the one that kills you. Moving swiftly on, let's look at some cutting-edge weird deaths of the 2020s. We might be in a new decade, but bizarre deaths never
2020s.
change. This next one involved a huge statue of a stegosaurus. Yeah, you heard that right. An unknown Catalonian man was found dead in the leg of a huge papier-mâché
Which one of the ops put you in a? No, that's crazy. Which one of the ops put you in a whole dinosaur, bruh? The ops won. Don't tell me the United game is starting back up. Oh, FFS. Anyways, the show must go on.
Stegosaurus in 2021 after having been trapped there for several days. Nobody knows for sure exactly how he got in there, with the leading theory being that he somehow lost his cell phone in the dinosaur and climbed in to retrieve it. The
do you lose
unfortunate
your
man
cell
was
phone
eventually
in a
discovered when someone caught the smell of rot while walking past the Stegosaurus. Yep, everything about this one is just straight up weird. Next
Same.
comes a story that's as bizarre as it is cringeworthy. The death of Salman Mirza, an Indian man who thought he'd found two excellent uses for epoxy resin, when in fact he'd bought himself one epoxy resin as a contraceptive. And honestly, after first getting high off the fumes of the resin, he decided to use it as a contraceptive rather than springing for a condom. We don't know how exactly he used the epoxy resin as a contraceptive, and honestly, we're happy not to investigate that one any further. But as a result of his poor choice of contraceptive, Salman Mirza died of multiple organ failure the next morning.
Tough.
Obviously, when you do something weird, gross,
Organ failure because you was trying to get in some cheeks, bro.
and dangerous like that, there's a good chance you might die. But you're equally likely to have an incredibly strange death during a completely mundane situation. Such was the case of 42-year-old Tony Isles of Vancouver, who was going through a McDonald's drive-thru when he accidentally dropped his credit card out of the window of his car. He opened the door and leaned out to retrieve the card in a moment of panic, but his car moved forward as he took his foot off
no.
the brake, wedging him between his car door and the
Come
McDonald's
on.
building.
Hold on, wait. Garnacho just scored for Manchester United. Come on. He should have played it to Hoyland. I want the miracle to come. It's going to VAR.
Mr. Isles was sadly crushed and all attempts to revive him failed.
That's actually depressing. That's actually depressing, bro. Come on. He was trying to retrieve his credit card and he accidentally, I guess, killed himself. Oh, he's offside.
That's not dissimilar to another far more famous rolling car death incident. In 2016, beloved actor Anton Yelchin's SUV malfunctioned when he got out of the car to check his mail. It rolled forward, crushing Yelchin against his stone gate and fatally injuring him. Sometimes it feels like fate itself is working against you. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, as they say. This was the case for an unknown Brazilian man in October 2021
trip to
when he and
Brazil.
his two friends were out fishing. They were suddenly attacked by an angry swarm of bees, causing them to jump into the water to escape. The unknown man's two friends survived the incident, but he wasn't so lucky. He drowned and was then eaten by piranhas. Yeah, we don't know.
Piranhas? No, I feel bad, bro. I don't know how I would feel if I got eaten by piranhas. No. Tough. Rest in peace to all the victims in this video, of course. But piranhas is insanity.
To say about that craziness either. You'll often find that the craziest deaths of all happen to unknown people. After all, if a death is sufficiently weird and embarrassing, the deceased family might not want to release the details. This was the case for a 28-year-old fitness enthusiast from San Diego, California. He was so eager to keep getting those gains that while driving, presumably to the gym, he felt the need to stir a protein mix with a knife. This incredible.
Are you restart? Oh my god. Oh my god. I could be saying oh my god to two things right now. A, the goal didn't count. B, how? What is wrong with shaking up a protein shake with a knife? Are you dumb? You're gonna die.
Poor decision to stir while driving led him to losing control of his vehicle, resulting in a 5-car pileup. The only
Oh, that's what happened. I thought he drank the protein shake and died. Even worse, bruh. You took other people with you too?
one who was killed was the 28-year-old man, whose airbag deployed
Alright, he's the only one who died. I mean, I wouldn't say good, but like rest in peace, but like, come on, what are you doing?
and stuck the blade of his mixing knife into his neck.
Oh my
The moral
God.
here, invest in a shaker. It might save your life one day. To continue our trend of the unknowns
Wait,
dying
so it wasn't even the car. It was the... What an idiot.
in incredibly bizarre fashions, we have the 2022 death of an unknown 65-year-old man at the Highland Games. No, not one hosted in Scotland, in the Netherlands this time. One of the many excessively manly sports at the Games is the hammer throw, which is exactly as dangerous as it sounds. One of the competitors let go of the hammer at the wrong time, causing it to fly off course and strike the head of our unfortunate protagonist, killing him instantly. Scotland would be proud. When you're an unknown whom fate has designs against, you're not even safe in a hospital. One 83-year-old woman had a depressingly slapstick death earlier in 2023.
Oh, 83, bruh. Like, she couldn't die of natural causes. She had to be on this video. Come on.
When she was discharged from the hospital on a stretcher, the butterfingers of the techs handling her
What? Y'all had Butterfingers and killed some... No. Fired immediately. Fire them immediately. They don't ever deserve to work in a hospital ever again.
caused her to tumble out of the stretcher and land face first in the hospital loading dock, where the stretcher also fell, crushing her to death. Life works against some unknowns. In 1888, an unknown Iraqi man was killed during a meteor shower that paralyzed another man. He's the only widely accepted case of human death by meteorite, which is kinda like being sniped by the universe itself. Less than 2 decades later, in
Bro got 360 no-scoped by the sun.
1903, a Hawaiian man died in a calamitous botched exorcism. When his family believed the man was possessed by a demon, they called over Kahuna, a local medical and spiritual figure, who beat the unfortunate man to death with a Bible.
Why?
Now, we heard of Bible thumpers, but that homicidal Kahuna took it to a whole new level. The late 2000s were a particularly gruesome time for unknown people dying in bizarre ways. For example, in 2008, a 43-year-old Irish woman died from an anaphylactic allergic reaction to have sex with a German Shepherd.
I did not hear that
In
right.
2008, a 43-year-old Irish woman died from an anaphylactic allergic reaction after being made to have sex with a German Shepherd as part of a bizarre sex.
You deserve that, bruh. You deserve that. This might be the first death on this video where they actually deserve it. What caused you to do that with a dog? Come on, bruh.
Game. The owner of the dog was prosecuted and put on the sex offenders registry, and the dog was sadly euthanized. Then in 2009, a 14-year-old boy in China was killed in a bizarre freak accident. While sitting on a swiveling office chair, the pneumatic gas cylinder within the chair exploded, killing him.
Damn.
This is still significantly less insane than a death that occurred in Canada, where an unknown man was killed by a 440-pound black bear being rocketed through the windshield of his car, killing both him and the bear. How did such a...
Bruh, I've heard of moose, but whole black bear in your window, bruh? It's tough times.
thing happened? The bear had been trying to cross the highway when it was struck by a fast-moving SUV, causing it to take air and facilitating the fatal collision. How unbearable. But an animal doesn't need to be a 440-pound apex predator to give you a bad time, as
a
one
beaver?
unknown 60-year-old Belarusian fisherman discovered. While out fishing, he saw a beaver and was so delighted that he tried to grab it to take a photo. The photo was never taken, as the beaver defensively bit him with his big wood.
Idiot. Bro, who goes out to reach a beaver? That's a red card also. But who goes out and tries to reach for a beaver?
Jumping teeth, causing him to bleed to death out in the river.
Bleed to death?
Unbeaverleavable. Alright, that one was a little more of a stretch. Sorry, let's move on. Sometimes a tragic death of an unknown person by an animal can happen even in a controlled environment. This happened at the Moroccan Zoo in 2016, when an irritated elephant threw a stone at the head of a 7-year-old girl, killing her instantly. but occasionally it's the things
How do you have beef with elephants, bruh? At 7 years old, what did the
we
girl
love
do?
most that do us in. An unknown 54-year-old man from Massachusetts loved black licorice. Hey, come on, don't judge, it's an underrated candy.
No, it's
but
not.
this man loved it so much that he ate a bag and a half of black licorice every single day for several weeks.
It's not that good, bruh. I can't even go through one.
Glyceric acid in the licorice confused the body into thinking it was producing excess aldosterone, which in turn made the body lower its potassium levels to such an extent that the man's heart simply stopped. That's enough to give all of us licorice lovers some pause before chowing down on the potentially dangerous
Yeah, I'll
candy.
never play it.
Though,
I'll
of
never-
course, only if you're
I wasn't gonna eat it anyways, so yep. Another reason why black licorice sucks.
eating, frankly, a crazy amount of it. But let's return to the strange deaths that have deceased names attached to them, which can still be just as weird, if not weirder, like 13-year-old William Snyder from San Francisco, California,
13?
who died in a coulrophobe's worst nightmare back in 1854. While attending a circus, a clown grabbed Snyder and swung him around by his ankles until he died. And you thought Pennywise and Art the Clown were scary.
Why would you do, like, as a parent, I wouldn't let him shake me for 1 second. A whole, like, until he died? Come on.
Death can truly strike at any time, even when you're happy and comfortable. Just ask Khalil Kimi, except you can't because this 32-year-old man died in Israel in 2022. He was having a pool party at his house, probably having the time of his life, when a sinkhole opened up underneath the
How
pool
does
and
a
slurped
sinkhole
him
open
down
in
to
the
his
pool?
death in a subterranean watery grave. Rip, Khalil. You partied hard. Happiness tainted by death would
On a
also be an
football
accurate
field?
description of the fate of Norbert Toth, a 53-year-old Hungarian Association soccer manager. He experienced the highlight of his soccer career in 2023 when he entered
Football.
the game and managed to score a respectable goal. The sheer excitement of the moment caused Norbert to experience a heart attack right there on the pitch. At the very
He had a heart attack. Imagine the goal was offside. Imagine VAR review offside. That would be tragic. Heart attack from scoring a goal is insanity. Insanity. How do you get a heart attack from scoring a goal? Maybe Marcus Rashford had that, and that's why he can't finish. He can't score a goal this season.
very least, you can say he died doing what he loved. We all know that frequently eating at Denny's is a ticket to an early grave, but this has never been more literal than for Lillian and Lloyd Curtis, an elderly couple who were crushed by a falling Denny's sign while
If you could see my I need to do face cams for these, because no, this is insanity. How? Why? Getting crushed by a Denny's sign is just insane.
exiting the restaurant in early 2023. Their adult daughter was also in the car when the Denny's sign tumbled down onto them, but she survived the incident, likely with
God.
some lifelong trauma around Denny's. Most deaths involving guns
Hoyland!
are just horrible
God,
and
no, it wasn't
tragic,
Hoyland, it
but
was
some
Garnacho.
also
Oh my God, Hoyland could have got his first Premier League goal. No, I know we scored, but I'm not happy. I want Hoyland. The miracle is coming.
have an added element of peculiar on top. Take the case of Joseph Austin Smith, a 30-year-old hunter from Wichita, Kansas, who died in 2023 as the result of improper rifle etiquette. He was sitting in the passenger seat of a car, with the rifle loaded and cocked sitting in the back seat. The lit match for this powder keg was Smith's dog, who climbed into the car and accidentally fired the rifle, sending a round
Bro.
through Smith's back, killing him instantly. Brazilian lawyer and gun rights activist Leandro Matthias
He got shot by a dog. That's what just happened to bro. He got shot by a dog.
Elvis also suffered a weird gun-related death in 2023 when he went to a Sao Paulo hospital to support his elderly mother as she got an MRI. Anyone who knows what the M in MRI stands for will feel a sense of dread when we tell you that Leandro was against the advice of hospital staff, storing a handgun in his waistband. When the MRI machine was turned on, the powerful magnet ripped the gun from his
I mean, I might be happy. I don't know what the M in MRI stands for.
waistband, causing it to discharge into Leandro's stomach.
Damn.
He'd succumb to his injury sometime later. Ever had a wine and cheese party? It's the most fancy, decadent time you can have on a reasonable budget. Little did you know, when you do this, you're playing with fire. Both of those items
Literally?
caused incredibly strange deaths just a few months ago, as of the making of this video. Giacomo Chiapparini, a 74-year-old Italian cheese mogul, suffered an unfortunate fate in his Lombardy-based cheese warehouse. A shelf collapsed, crushing him with thousands of 40-kilogram wheels of delicious grana.
Bro. And you wanna know what's more sad? Someone's probably ate that cheese. Someone's probably ate that cheese that killed that man. Yeah, at least it was at a good cause, but rest in peace, bro.
Padano cheese, killing him instantly. His corpse was recovered from the wrecked warehouse over 12 hours later, revealing the truth of his death that was, unlike the cheese itself, very unsavory. And now it's wine time. In September 2023, an unnamed worker at Cadi Raio Winery in San Polo de Piave, Treviso, Italy, fell to his death in a massive wine processing tank
God.
after he was intoxicated by the carbon dioxide rising out of it. Massive amounts of CO2 are created as a byproduct of the wine fermentation process, a fact which sadly triggered the fermentation process of this one extremely unlucky worker. To round us off, we've got a uniquely modern death from a uniquely modern dumb phenomenon, the gender reveal party. They've caused wildfire.
Gender reveal parties might have more kills than this one guy that's from Germany. We don't say his name though. Robert Lewandowski's grandmother.
They've polluted streams, and in one case in 2019, they killed 56-year-old Pamela Kremeyer in Iowa. The family wanted to reveal the gender of their upcoming
Gunpowder,
baby by filling a steel umbrella stand with blue-tinted gunpowder, which they hoped would fire out a
Project
of
Project Bellingham.
colored flames. Instead, it turned the stand into a pipe bomb, exploding outward into a cascade of deadly metal shrapnel, a piece of which flew straight into poor Pamela's head. Because of her family's obsession with making a goofy explosive stunt, she would never live to see her grandchild that the stunt was designed to celebrate. What a terrible waste. Now watch Dumbest Ways to...
Project Bellingham. Hey, rest in peace to anyone mentioned in this video. It's been your boy Lil P the Beast, and I'm out. Peace. 2-1. Let's hope we can get the win, boys.